All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about the Unit 2 Quiz 4. So if you're someone who has been having trouble with this, please be paying attention, and let's get started. All right, The Rifleman was an American Western TV program that aired from 1958. Okay, that's some good history there, but let's go ahead and get down to it. John is watching a 4:3 show on his 16:9 widescreen TV. All right, now, this is what I would encourage, and that is, in the past, I've said, hey, create another rectangle just kind of showing the man, everything inside the screen and the other screen. I'm going to change it just a little bit. Rather than making just one rectangle, if you're still having trouble with this, make two rectangles. All right, so the screen would represent the entire thing. So the entire thing would be the screen right here. All right, and then the inside part, which is right here, would be the other rectangle, and this would, I'm just going to call this the man. Okay. Now, remember that the screen is a 16:9 ratio. The man is a 4:3 ratio. All right. So, again, the difference this time around, we're making two rectangles versus one. And this might just be a little easier for you. All right. So, let's see. It says the height of the TV is 40 inches. All right. So, the height of the TV is 40 inches, which means I'm looking for the width of the TV. All right. So, given the fact that I'm dealing with an aspect ratio and a height here, I got to find my width. So remember, width is always first. 16/9 is equal to, I don't know what my width is. That would be x over 40, cross multiplied and solve. X ends up being, let's see, 71.1 inches. All right, that's what x is. That's how wide the TV screen is. Well, let's see how wide the man is. Or, yeah. Now, the height of the TV is 40 inches, which means the man would be 40 inches. And we're looking for the width. So that would be 4 over 3 is equal to, let's see, the height being 40, so it goes on the bottom, over x, cross multiply and solve. X ends up being 53.3 inches. Okay, so let's start filling some stuff out. So the height of the TV screen was 40 inches because it was in the problem, 40 inches. The height of the show, or if you want to say the height of the man. Okay. Now the width of the TV screen was 71.1, and the width of the show was 53.3. Okay. Now once you get these two, you don't need to go back to these rectangles. All right, because pretty much everything else is right here. All right, so the area of the TV screen, that's a width times length situation, width times height. I'm sorry, width times height. That would be 2844 inches, square inches. This would be 2132 square inches. All right, now from here, we need to start making our observations. Now, the largest area is going to be my total area. Okay, so we have 2844. That's my total because that's the entire screen. Now, 2132 of that makes up the man. Everything else would be the area of the black. So let's see, that's 2844 minus 2132. That is 712. That would be my black. Okay. Now the question is, what percentage does the black bars? Well, the black bars occupied 712 square inches for the area, divided by the total, which was 2844, and you have 25%. Big problem for some people. So hopefully after seeing this, you know what's going on now. All right. If a tire has a sidewall height of this, all right, here we're dividing by 3.14. So 8321 divided by 3.14. That gives me a overall height of 26.5. Now we have a sidewall of 5.5, so that sidewall is 5.25. This sidewall is 5.25. I'm looking for my rim, so I'm just going to subtract out my two sidewalls. So that means it's 26.5 minus 5.25 minus 5.25. What I'm left with will be the rim, which would be 16 inches. All right. Question number 3, a lot of folks got wrong. Let's see, all employees will be faced new ID cards. For security purposes, the ID card will have a 6-character code. All right. The code will contain 5 digits, 1 through 9. All right, so that's a 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, because remember, 1 through 9 is 9 possibilities, and one letter A, B, C are 3. All right. Now, the letter could be, let me do this in another color so it kind of stands out. The letter could be here, 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 here. So there are 1, 2, there's 6 total possibilities where it could be. So that means I'm going to take all this and multiply by 6 because of these words. The letter could be anywhere. 1,062,882. All right. Question number 4. A lot of people are still making this mistake, and that is a phone number, guys. Please get this. A phone number is 7 digits. All right. Even though the restrictions only go towards the 4th, that means the 5th, 6th, and 7th do not have restrictions. So 1, 2, 3, dash 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. It says the first digit of the phone number cannot be 0 through 4. So that is a 5 through 9 situation, which 5 through 9, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 5. The second number cannot be a 0, so that's a 1 through 9 situation, so that's 9 possibilities. All right, here we go. The third and fourth numbers cannot be a 0 or 1, so that means it's going to be a 2 through 9 situation for the next 2. And I believe, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe that's 8. And that's where people stop. Guys, there's 3 more numbers here that people are totally forgetting. Just because the restrictions don't call for 5 through 7, that means there are no restrictions on 5 through 7. So that's a 0 through 9 situation. 0 through 9, 0 through 9. So that's 10, 10, 10. Multiply it all out. 2,880,000 different phone numbers. And I'm still having people screw up, guys. If the phone company adopted 2 more area codes, okay? Now, 2 more area codes, I'm going to do this 2 ways so you can see this. 2 more area codes means there's another 2,800,000. There's another 208,800,000. Okay? So if you want to add 2 more 208 million, you can do that, or you could just simply multiply by 3. You get 8,640,000 total phone numbers. Okay? Now this one here, a lot of folks were getting right, but there was a couple that didn't. First thing I need to do is find the area for each zone. So the width is 30, the length is 100. So that would be 3,000. This would be 5,000 feet squared, and this would be 2,500. Now, the prediction for each zone. Zone 1 is 2.5 square feet per person. So off to the side here, one person takes up 2.5. So how many people would take up 3,000? Cross multiply and solve. And I believe that ends up being, let's see, 1,200 people. All right, zone 2, draw a line over there. One person takes up 4.5 square feet. How many people? X over 5,000. So let's see. We're going to round that to 1,111 people. And zone 3 would be 1 over 10 is equal to X people over 2,500. Cross multiply and solve, I believe that will be 250. So how many people ended up going to this concert? That ended up being 2,561. Now for security reasons, the county will provide a cop. All right, so 1 cop for 100 attendees is equal to how many cops over 2,561? Again, we're rounding here. And this is going to be basically 26 cops. All right, 8, 9, using it 5. Most of you guys are getting it right. I think I only saw like maybe 2 or 3 people. Remember, we don't know. E over 25 is equal to X over I believe that's going to be 3,500. Cross multiply and solve. The answer is 140 E. Remember, E is on the 140. If you're getting something like E is equal to 140, that means you're putting the E and X on the wrong spot, meaning you're putting X right here and you're putting E right there. Reverse that. That's a no-no. Don't do that. All right? So make sure you're not doing that. All right, now if 5 people can fit in the square, again, most folks are getting that. Take 5, plug it in for E. Your answer ends up being 700. All right. This is a 50-50 question. Half of y'all are getting it right, half of y'all are getting it wrong. So the width of the tire is 225. The aspect ratio is 85%. Now, to find the height of one sidewall, you take 225 and you multiply it by 0.85. So 225 times 0.85. Some of you guys were dividing it, which throws you off. So 191.3. Now I'm going to hide the one sidewall in inches. That's 191.3 divided by 25.4. That's where the infamous 25.4 came from. And you get 7.5. Now the height of the rim is the third number, which is 19. Okay? Now, this is where people screw up. They get to this point, they're like, I don't know what to do. That's why I gave you a picture, guys. 19 inches was the rim. 7.5 was the sidewall. Add it all up, and you get 34.1 or 34.0, depending on how you round it. Okay? Now, the circumference of the tire. You take it's right here. To find the circumference of the tire, it is 3.14 times the height. Okay? So, 3.14 times 34.1, you get a circumference of 106.9. Now, to find K, K is the bigger tire over the small tire. So the bigger tire was 106.9. The smaller tire in the directions was 97.2. So for folks that need to see it, the directions said the older tire was 97.2. Divide that out, and you got 1.10. Now at this point, once you find K, everything else is simple multiplication. Take K, multiply by 80,000. Take K, multiply by 35 or 45, and you get 88,000, and then you get 50. There you go. John bought an older 4.3. All right, a lot of folks are screwing up on this because, guys, remember 4.3 needs to be 4x and 3x. Okay, remember, for my visual learners, this is a triangle. Okay, so when you set it up, you have got to have the x in there. So it ends up being 4x squared plus 3x squared is equal to 30 squared. Well, that's 16x squared plus 9x squared is equal to 900. All right, from here, that ends up being 25x squared is equal to 900. Notice how the square stays. Some of you guys are not putting the square on there. So I divide by 25, and I get x squared is equal to 36. Then I square root. Some of you guys aren't square rooting because you dropped the square on the x for some odd reason. So x ends up being 6. Now to find the width, take x plug, take 6, plug it in for x. So the width ends up being 24. The height, again, take 6, plug it in for x. That ends up being 18. Find the area, that's another width times height situation. So 24 times 18, let's see, is 432. All right, there we go. Now for this question here, remember that we changed 600 to 900. So it says the fundraiser will allow 900 people. Remember, this 900 only deals with this question here. All right, so it says one person for 30 square feet is equal to x over 22,500. Cross multiply and solve, and I was able to fit 750 in there. Now, if I'm able to spend or put 750 in there, can I fit 900? The answer is no. If it has a max capacity of 5 or 750, I can't get more in there. Can't do it. You observe, you're standing on the sidewalk. Remember, the rate is 200 people a minute. 200. This rate decreases by 40%. 200 does. So off to the side. 200 times 0.4. When I do that, I believe I get 80. That's not my answer. I'm subtracting it from 200. Guys, it's the same setup every single time. 120. This rate, let's see, this rate for step 3 decreases by 50%. So now it's the 120. 120 divided by 50. That gives me 60. Take that, subtract it from 120. That gives me 60. Some of you guys are still asking me, do I do this? Guys, it hasn't changed since day 1. This is 4 weeks on this now. So this ends up being 400 people because I did 200 times 2, 120 times 3, which is 360, 60 times 2, which is 120. Do the math, 880 people. All right. All right, Sammy went to a discount store. People are still screwing up on this. We have got to take miles and convert it to inches. All right. Now, the circumference, every time the tire spins, so a spin equals 103.62 inches. So we need to figure out how many 103.62 inches are in all the inches of the miles. So we started off with 10,000. There's 5,280 feet in a mile. Get a number. Then take that number and times it by 12. Get another number. These are how many inches there are in 10,000. Divide that by 103.62. You do the math. 6,114,650. That's how many times that tire has got to go around and around and around and around and around and around until it gets 10,000 miles. All right. If a tire has a rim of 15, circumference of 62.8, well, I just see the circumference. I know I got to divide that by 3.14. So when I do that, I get 20 with a rim of 15. And I have X and X there. Remember, this X and this X is the same exact thing. So I'm just going to take 20 when subtracted by 15. I get 5, and I'm just going to divide it by 2. The reason I'm dividing it by 2 is because there's 2 X's in the problem. So that's 250. All right. All right, this question a lot of folks screwed up on. All right, so remember that you've got to find the area of the frame. Oh, sorry. Yes, that was right. Area of the frame over the area of the picture. Okay? Now, the only reason you're using this small one is to figure out what X is. All right, so we need to start off with the proportion. Width is 6. The height is 4. 6 over 4 is equal to, here is the width of the picture, guys. It's X over 11. X over 11. X ends up being 16.5. Now, let me clean this up a little bit. All right, actually, let me clean this up. If you need to go back and, so let me clean some of that up. Just a little bit of information overload here, okay? Now, here's what I need you to understand, guys, and that is, let me see if I can do a highlighter to help out. This is the width of the frame. This is the height of the frame. So to find the area of the frame, all I'm going to do simply is just do 11 times, that's times 14. So 11 times 14. That gives me, I got to write over here, 154. Over. Now again, guys, this is still the height of the picture too, because the frame and the picture meet at the same spot. But now, this, oh, it's going to take that with it. Let's see. But now, guys, this is the area of the, I'm sorry, this is now the width of the picture. So 16.5 times 11. So let me write it down here. So 16.5 times 11. Do the math, and you get 181.5. Ooh, we got a couple questions here. I didn't see that. So what is the area of the blown up picture? 181.5, but I asked you to do round to the nearest whole, so that's going to be 182. The area of the picture frame is 154. So what percent? All right, so that is, again, the frame over pick. 154 divided by 182. Do the math. 85%. There you go. Easy peasy. Next one. All right, a lot of folks screwing up on this. The width and height. Let's go ahead and knock out the area because it's so simple. The area is width times height, which gives, most folks got this, 3024. Now remember, the perimeter is the distance around, so that's 84 plus 36 plus another 84 plus another 36. A lot of folks got that right, 240. But after that, it turned into half and half. We're at 50% with the rest of the stuff. Now, first off, let's find the size. The size, again, is the diagonal. I'm given the height. I'm given the width. There's my right triangle. So that means I'm going to be dealing with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So off to the side, that's 84 squared plus 36 squared is equal to c squared. My answer ends up being 91.4. Okay. Lastly, the aspect ratio. Guys, very simply, with your calculator, there's no reason anybody should be getting this wrong. 84 divided by 36 in your calculator. Then hit second, then hit table. And it'll give you the lowest form, just like that. All right, so that should have been an easy points right there. All right, so that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.